Hello again and welcome back to a new episode of our show. As you know, dear viewers, we'll be discussing a new movie that was able to get into the hearts of children and adults. The movie featured with a unique cast, the most powerful actor in Hollywood, been nominated for 5 Golden Globe Awards and 2 Academy Awards, and has already won 4 Grammys, plays an exclusive role as he had never did such a con in his life before. Will Smith, with Mina Masood, the one who was chosen from among hundreds of applicants. Happens that he is an Arabic nationality of Egyptian origins, and Naomi Scott, the young, glamorous singer and actress that has also starred in the superhero film Power Rangers 2017 and the action comedy Charlie's Angels of 2019. Their combination together creates a masterpiece worth looking forward. And how can not? Today's story is an adaptation of a famous Disney classic animation. Did you guess it yet? Well, if not, I'm sure you'll have a close answer after knowing that the storyline has an Arabic root that goes back to one of the most popular myths in the world. The story of a kind-hearted street urchin and how his fate was changed when he found a magical lamp that could make his deepest wishes come true. Just happened to come back alive in 2019 with the latest version of the movie that was able to turn the box office with $1.051 billion United States dollar budget. Starring Will Smith, Mina Masood, and Naomi Scott, and many more, the movie was able to attract people from all ages and generations. So far now, we have Dania and Rusull, 2 special guests who will be chatting with us about a lot of stuff. So be ready for the ride. Welcome again, Dania and Rusull. Blessed to have you here at the studio today.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Now that I'm sure that nobody here hasn't heard about Aladdin, not from a grandma, then at least you've watched it once growing up.
Yeah, truly.
You know, right?
Yeah, it's like almost everyone at some point of their life wished to be in one of the characters' place and live such as an adventure.
For real though, it's a really good story that makes you feel like it has a little bit of everything.
Totally agree with you, and it was chosen for today's episode. I still remember how excited I felt when I heard the crew was saying, "We are going to discuss Aladdin next week." I was totally went like, yes, this going to be epic.
I'm sure it will.
I hope. Now, Rusull, would you mind to give us a brief information about the movie? I really love details, so please feel free to tell us everything you know about it.
Well, if you just give me the green light, I am not sure when I'll stop. I am a big fan of that story, so just as you know.
Oh, please go on. I already know that I'm going to have fun today.
Same here. It's always refreshing to have passionate conversations.
Okay, so we all know that the famous story was inspired by the timeless great myth. But what about this movie? What do we may or may not want to know?
So you want it?
Yeah, actually, the movie is a story that we could say has a little bit of everything. We have adventure, comedy, romance, and fantasy. A story of a street rat who was able to find a magical carpet and a lamp that makes dreams come true. And what will happen to him is pretty much the concept of the story. Directed by Jay Ritchie, written by John August, Big Fish, and rewritten by Ritchie, with the music and songs by Alan Menken and the late Howard Dashman, plus a couple of original tunes intended to qualify the film for Best Original Song Oscars, starring the well-known comedian Will Smith, Mina Masood, and Naomi Scott. I am sure the first thing that would come to your mind after hearing Will Smith is good comedy.
Which was definitely one of the film's powerful points.
Totally, no one will dislike a good quality of fun time, which was represented by the character of the genie. And that's probably one of the reasons that made Will Smith agree to get the rule sense. And he once said that sometimes these rules are too good to be acted, so it was a challenge even to him. And as usual, he pulled it off and added his own hip-hop background to the character, which will lead us to the second reason for the film's success, which is the great songs and the dancing that gave such a lovely vibe to the movie. Another reason for the film's success was probably Disney. Yeah, Disney trying to choose a real Arabic actor to present the character of Aladdin and a British actress with Indian roots for the role of Jasmine.
Yes, a lot also think that the story has an Indian origin too.
Exactly, and that leads us to the two young stars, Mina Masood and Naomi Scott, who represented the love story of Aladdin and Jasmine personally. I think they made a good job to the point where people started shipping them in a real life too, even though Naomi Scott is already married.
Oh my god, I was really disappointed when I knew that.
Yeah, they do be sharing a good friendship on and off set, which was probably why people loved watching them together.
Well, from my perspective, it's not the most perfect acting I've ever seen, to be honest. I think a lot of the movie's success was that the story had already its own fan base. It came from the 1992 animated version, plus the fact that the male lead was Arabian made the movie much more popular in the Middle Eastern theaters. Whether it was perfect or not, people would love to see such a refreshing change in the American acting industry. But still, that doesn't really mean the movie itself was perfect, even though I can't really deny the effort put in the whole thing.
Still, I think they made a pretty much good job together, especially when it came to dancing and singing. They even went to the point of traveling from the set in London to Jordan to shoot the scenes in Al Sahra, which is remarkable.
Totally agree. Even though they could have used CGI, they still wanted to maintain as much as possible of the realistic vibes of the story.
There is a lot of gray area in Make Me a Prince. I could just make you a prince.
Well, that's definitely true. But I think even though there was a lot of working and a lot of details that were put on set, there was just as much of technical problems that made the genie look less realistic. And it made me feel sad that such a good acting by Will Smith to be less than perfect, just because of such a problem. I'm sure kids wouldn't really notice these things, but the story has fans from all ages, like we said before. And for such a great story and remarkable effort to go in vain just for not caring for such a details is really a shame. I mean, why would someone work this hard to ruin their work by such a thing?
So we have really forgot the great amount of budget it made. I mean, even some of the Oscars-winning films weren't able to be as successful.
See, that's the problem. Sometimes getting viral doesn't really mean what's in the market is the best. It's just like when a new cosmetic product comes to the frame and you see your favorite influencers using it, and just eventually a lot of people will follow the rule of the more popular the better, which is definitely wrong.
Right. Now that I think our time is finished, that's really
Thanks
surprising.
for this one night. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. It's always fun to have such a good conversation. Thanks again. Now back to you, dear listeners. I hope that by the end of this episode, we were able to make you have fun just like we did. And I hope that our feelings were able to reach you through the screen. Thanks for tuning and see you next week.